Hi, this is Christina Basile, Cruising with Christina, KLVW-TV. I am also the Pet Club Secretary. And what you're going to view is a really interesting Pet Club meeting we had. We had a guest speaker from Central Jersey Canine Search and Rescue. His name is Alex Kachenko, and he was the most interesting person to even invite to our meeting. If you can, become a Pet Club member. We have fun meetings and interesting speakers, but this was very interesting. He talked about training dogs for his search and rescue, sheep herding dogs. He's got 1 million animals on his farm, and he even told us that dogs can smell through cement and water. So I hope you find this interview and demos from the canines very interesting. So here we go.
Chief of Central Jersey Canine Search and Rescue. Sorry.
You have to talk into the mic.
I'm Alex Kachenko, Chief of Central Jersey Canine Search and Rescue. I'm also the Plumstead Township OEM Coordinator, so I'm in charge of overseeing Central Jersey Canine, which is part of the township has acknowledged us as their canine. So the township has acknowledged us as their search and rescue team. We're a nonprofit organization.
Put the mic up to your mouth.
Started about 8 years ago. About 9 years ago now. We're a nonprofit organization, like I said. We cover the whole entire state. Started off just Monmouth, Ocean, Burlington County areas, and went from there to the state police picked us up. I also sat on the board and devised canine standards for search and rescue canines throughout the state with some other various agencies as well. I also run ACP dog training. We do everything from all behavior to basic to sheep dog herding lessons, scent work, anything else before we try to handle them. Certified police canine trainer and instructor. Also run an own company called Goose Runners, hence the sheep. I have border collies that I compete nationally with. So I keep the sheep, keep them tuned up, and the process of dogs run around and harass Canada geese, various properties throughout the state. So Vegas here is about an 8-year-old dog. I imported him from Czechoslovakia. He is a pure German Shepherd. He is one of my main breeding dogs. I do breed German Shepherds. He is certified in trailing, cadaver, and live find air scent. So he's all 3 disciplines. Search and rescue dogs are friendly find dogs. There's no bite training allowed in these dogs. So the way he is trained is to find you, he'd sit with you, and bark, let me know that he's located here. So if he's 300, 400 yards away from me, I'll hear him. As well as he runs a GPS tracking collar that I can track him up to about 7 miles away. We use dogs, obviously, we all know they can smell way better than us. We have about 5 million olfactory receptors. So when we go home, smoke stew, that's what we smell. They have 300 million. So you're talking, they know when they smell every single ingredient. I'm also certified on canine officer with my bloodhound. I literally take a quarter and pass it around to everybody in here, send one person off to go walk off, and eliminate everybody that's standing here until eliminate all those scents off that quarter. Wow. Just to give you an idea. So with him, he's certified, like I said, live find air scent, so he's non-scent discriminating. If you're just hiding in the woods, he's going to find you. He's going to bark, let me know. If it's a deceased person, he'll find the person buried in the water, poured concrete, everything. So, limitations, I used to get asked because I'm a national instructor as well. Honestly, I think we're the limitation. The dogs don't really have them. Anytime we throw something at them, they just keep going for it. So, I'm gonna work him around the room and hopefully he does what he's supposed to do for you guys. So what I'm looking for is body language change. He gave me a little bit over here, but he hasn't committed to it yet. So when we're training scent dogs, it's actually very easy. If the dog has drive. So there's a difference when you're determining a dog for work. When you're determining to have a dog just for work, or just cat. I get a lot of times, well, my dog's got a lot of energy, they can do search and rescue. Just because the dog has energy does not mean it has what we call drive. So when Vegas and I are given an area, we're expected to go out in the woods for 3 to 4 hours in one task. So in that 3 to 4 hours, he's expected to do approximately 80 acres in that. That's a lot of nose time. So I don't look for that high energy, I look for the drive, hunt. If you throw a toy and they hunt, that's your drive. The dogs who give up after a couple minutes, it's just no fun for them. So there's been times I've taken them out. We also assist, so we cover the whole state of New Jersey. We assist parts of Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland as well. So there's been times he's been out on a task with me for 4 days. And in 4 days, I did 20 miles on my GPS track. He did over 80.
Wow. So,
you can't really be a good working dog for what we do. Anything, any questions? Yes.
Question. Does he get a treat, or how does he get rewarded for like finding the ball?
So that ball was his reward. So this is why when I'm training, I'll pull up my pup in a few minutes. When I'm training fundamentals, basics, I'll use food. I'm not a huge fan of food. Food's great for teaching basic fundamentals, but I try to teach everything off of that because at the end of the day, they eat at the end of the day. Feed them in the evening, whatever. So if they decide they don't want to do it, well, they don't want to do it. But if they have to drive for the toy, it's a whole different ballgame. So it just changes everything. Everything for him is in that. So what I do is if I'm training him in an odor, human teeth. We'll use human teeth, for example. I put them in a container, and what I do is I take a towel. I take a nice clean white towel, roll it, tie it, let it sit there. And all I do is take it for a couple hours, sitting. It's absorbing the odor from the teeth, the bone, and everything with the taste off it. I sit there, play tug. So his olfactory receptors, everything, when he's playing, it's hitting him in the mouth, and to him the game's there. So all he's doing, as soon as he runs by, he smells bone, he knows he's going to get a tug. So all of a sudden he goes into his final train response, which would be the barking. So it's really not difficult, it's just a lot of time. Yes? Oh, okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
We noticed that he was watching you walk that way.
Correct.
So,
He was. He was, but if you notice too, so when he walked over there, did you notice the change in the body language?
yes.
Yeah. So that's what you're looking for. So a lot of times when I get called to a search, I come out, I'm interviewing the family with my hound or with him before I go out there to go searching. It just, all of that is body language. So it's not the end all. The dog isn't the end all for us. He might not give me a full blown, hey, it's right here, but I have to be able to read body language, especially when dealing out in the wilderness. The wind shifts and changes. I have to read that language, and then I have to work and assist with it. So it's a partnership, you know.
How old is he?
8.
How much longer will he be working?
I hope I can get another 2 years out of him working. I'll work a dog as long as he physically can. Mentally, it's a whole different ball game. Dogs, mentally, they will work. until they just can't work. I mean, I have border collies at home for my news business that are 15 years old, and they're still working 6 days a week. Physically, they're fine. They get up, they go. My border collie is 17, 18 years out of some of them. So all my colleagues are imports. I just brought you in from Northern Ireland, Scotland, and most of them are from everyone else. So, yes.
How long does it take you to train them, and how old are they when they start?
We start right away. So I start puppies right off the bat. 8 weeks old, I start
Oh
training.
my God.
Yeah, there's never a lot of people are, well, when do I start training my puppy? You start right off the bat. But there's a difference between training and making it fun. So when I make it fun, it's just a game. He's learning. Just when I have, I usually tell people when you're in school and you have that one teacher who was just easy and fun, you learn without even learning because it was just everything was fun and easy. Same thing with dogs. If we make it a game that's fun for them, it doesn't matter if we're trying to teach them to sit and come the whole 9 yards. Your tone of voice changes. You get a reaction out of that. If you notice, I switched from the pinch to just a regular collar. Why? Because I want a correction collar. That's all. It gives me a little more shh. Sit. Lots.
Yes.
They'll do it just for that. A good dog will literally, they don't need to have treats. They just want your affection. That's all they want. Dogs were bred to please us, to work for us. They wanted to do it. We give them treats because it's how we mentally just how we think about it.
Alex, can you walk us through, one of say, someone calls you up, what is the procedure? How does that whole thing play out?
Elaborate a little bit on that. What do you mean by calling me?
Okay, I'm gonna call you up, my child is missing, how do you?
Okay, so we if I get contacted by family, I need to know who the law enforcement agency is in charge. We don't go out without law enforcement. So, everything is coordinated with law enforcement. Everything is tracked. So we GPS track everything. If there's no tracks, it didn't happen. I have to redo the whole thing. So if you have a whole search party out there already, and there's no tracks on anything, I have to redo the whole thing. Yeah.
So how does he, when do you bring him out? What kind of a situation?
So he comes out from behind everything. So when I get called, I have a bloodhound and Vegas in my
Oh,
truck.
you have a blood, your babies?
He's in the truck, I can bring him in, but he's hanging out.
Is he in the
Yeah.
Oh, that's, oh, come on, yes.
So, he's like 28 dollars.
He's got it coming.
Yeah. But yeah, no, so we get called and we get dispatched and through either state police or law enforcement agency calls us out, or counties call us out directly typically.
Okay.
And then I come out, depending on what the situation is. Obviously, if somebody went missing, we try to run a track first, direction of the track. If we don't, and we don't have any sent articles, we don't have anything to go off of, he's called an area search dog. So literally, it's, hey, he's in a patch of woods, he's last seen known in, abandoned buildings, we send him out. So instead of taking 40, 50 people and running a line search, looking for this missing person, you can give me like 2 finders, and he'll cover everything that they would have covered. Because he'll range anywhere from, depending on the terrain, you're talking he'll go 50 to 150 yards away from me, and he's covering everything.
And he's got to be on
All off leash.
He's all off leash.
It's all off leash.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're running area search work with all off leash. Depending what it is. I mean, you start putting me into the city area, I might put him on a 20-foot long line just for safety. I've done some jobs out west Philly and stuff. I'll usually put him on a long line for that. But otherwise, no. If he's going into an abandoned building, I'm uncomfortable like that.
And when do you send the Shepherd versus the Bloodhound?
So the bloodhound is only for tracking and trailing. That's all he does. So if I don't have a track to go of him, everything is with the shepherd. Or if it's a cold case already, you know the person's been missing for a little while, a couple weeks, it might turn into what we call a cadaver case. At that point, then yeah, I'll bring the area search dogs for that. So.
What is the percentage of success with something like that, a cold case?
As far as, well, let's put it this way. If I'm not in the right area, I can't find you. We'll put it that way. Gotta be in the right area. and to have the right information. Hence why it's very important for search and rescue teams to work with law enforcement because they have information. You know, that they get information, they have the information to give us. Otherwise, I've had calls where, you know, I get a mother who's upset that her child's been missing for a while. But the information they're giving me to go search is different than what law enforcement has. And they're like, they need to be over here to go search.
They're gentle, though. I think they're, for the most part, they can be very gentle.
Hello, sweetheart. I can't kiss you because I was around people who became sick, and I'm weak kissing.
Oh my gosh, how cute is that?
His fur is like her fur is like silk. Hello, little.
You're done?
Hello, little buddy. Hi. Hello.
Oh, you know what I haven't smelled in years? Breath.
Aw.
I gotta get her some puppies.
Judy. All right.
Okay, do you wanna walk her around?
Yes.
Be very careful, she could jump out.
I.
Watch your butt.
Look.
The paws, got it? Look at her face.
And you get to you.
Hi, this is Christina Basile, and I'm at the Pet Club meeting at Encore, and it's our first Pet Club of the year. And I'm also cruising with Christina for KLVW-TV, and I'm here to interview Alex Kachenko, right?
Correct.
Okay, and he has several businesses actually, but he is with Central Jersey Search and Rescue. He also trains dogs and he chases geese. So I'm going to have him tell us a little about the search and rescue and about his geese chasing too, because I'm really curious about that.
Okay.
Do you have a lot of geese chasing business?
Yeah, I've been doing it for almost 20 years now.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you first? Were you a dog trainer, a search and rescue, or a geese chaser first?
Well, it's Goose Runners, the name of my company. So we use the dogs to run off the geese. But I did the Goose Runner stuff, the Border Collies and all that before I did search and rescue.
Okay, and then when did you start search and rescue?
Probably about almost 9-10 years ago. Got into search and rescue.
And what got you interested in search and rescue?
Actually, because of what we did, my wife and I, with the geese business and the competition sheepdog trials that we do with the dogs, she was an EMT, and other local agencies asked us to put a canine unit together for missing persons.
Wow. So what year did you start that?
That would have been about 8-9 years ago now. So, you're talking, a little while back.
Wow. What is your favorite? Goose running, training, or the search and rescue?
I think all of it, because it all involves me handling and working the dogs. And for me, when I'm working the dogs, a lot of these dogs we bought as puppies, we train them, and to see a finished product of all the training, all the work you put in the dog, and it do what you need it to do at the end of the day, and you get the job done, be it for search and rescue, or I'm out there and the dog brings in 100 head of sheep, or brings in the flock of geese and moves them out for me. To me, it's play. It's not even work.
Wow. That is so interesting. What even got you started? Did you love animals as a child, or what got you started even with the sheepdog?
I've been working dogs for about 30 years now. Professionally for the past 20, but about 30 years ago, my uncle gave me my first shepherd, and he was somewhat trained already at that point, so I had to learn how to handle him. And he was the one who kind of got me hooked on everything. I used to walk everywhere with him, off leash, no problem. He'd listen. If I asked him to jump a fence, he'd jump a 4-foot fence for me, no problem.
Wow, that is so interesting. It's just amazing. And I love animals, but I would never have thought that search and rescue or dog training, search and rescue is so dangerous. What are some of the things that you encounter when you're on a search and rescue?
There's a lot of stuff we can encounter. If we're out in the mountains, the dogs range. So if we're doing an air scent dog, your dog can be anywhere from 50 yards to 150, 200 yards away.
Wow.
So I have to know with the GPS units, reading the maps to know if there's any cliffs in the area. So there's a good chance, your dog could run off an edge if that was the case, or catch a scent and there's a road there. So you got to make sure you have the control on the dogs and know the comfort where you are with your dog on that. There's always a danger if I'm on the boat and we're doing work off the boat. If there's good currents and stuff like that, and the dog decides to get too excited, they jump off the boat. So we have to teach them to stay in the boats and not try to jump off into the water to give us our alerts in the water and stuff like that.
It's so amazing. As you were giving your lecture, I was like, oh my goodness. Alex explained today that a dog can smell through cement and smell through water.
Yeah. You and I have about 5 million olfactory receptors, and dogs, most of your shepherds, bloodhounds, are right around 300 million. So they literally smell every single ingredient. If you're cooking a stew, we smell the stew. They smell all the ingredients that were put in the stew. My hound, if you take a quarter and you pass it around and one person walks off, I can eliminate the people that are standing there off, to the dog and send him off to go find the right person.
That is so amazing. And you also train dogs. So tell me, what age do you start training a dog, and how long does a dog take to be trained?
So I start my own dogs right off the bat, 7-8 weeks, basic fundamentals, fun games with treats here and there. And then we slowly progress up. We start them right away. So the dog training business that we have is, ACT dog training, and we're based out in New Egypt. We have a training facility there. You can come to us. We go to you if you need be. We have other dogs there to socialize your dogs with. So we have different levels of dogs. If we're dealing with dog aggression, I have the right type of dogs to use that to neutral, that's a neutral dog. So your dog understands the proper way they should be behaving.
Wow. So he's a jack of all trades with animals. He's like the dog whisperer. But so if you need your dog trained, ACT dog training.
Yes. We're on Facebook. Yes.
All right. And how far do you work? Do you work in any other states, or is it just strictly Central Jersey?
For the search and rescue, we have, I've been out in Pennsylvania. We've done jobs in New York, as well as Maryland and Delaware. We have been called to go further out of states, but I have not really, we just don't have the time to go out that far.
Well, you're a busy guy with
Yeah.
3 different businesses and juggling, and you have a wife and 2 kids too. So
Yes.
and as you said, your wife and 2 children are involved in the
They all
dogs
help.
too.
Yeah, my wife's actually one of the dog trainers, and she actually owns the ACT. I work for her.
Okay.
And she's one of the canine handlers for Central Jersey Canine, as well as she is the owner of Central Jersey. So I'm just the chief, and she's the assistant chief. But yeah, she's very involved, and very lucky that she lets me do what I do.
No, that's really nice. It's like a family business, family affair,
It is.
So it's really nice. And your kids must be animal lovers too.
I have the work my wife and I have done with, raising the puppies and stuff like that. The kids, yeah, they do everything. They're great. Definitely helps.
And how old are your kids?
They are 18 and 15 now.
Okay, that's a good age. They can
Yeah.
really help. That's
They're
nice.
from day one. 7 years old, my kids would go outside and they'd work the dogs on the sheet and, come by, wait at me and tell them to lie down. And
Wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I love that. I mean, I just love animals. And your dogs were so well behaved, all 3 of them.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
it was awesome. It was an awesome evening with Alex Kachenko, and we thank you so much for coming and bringing your dogs. Good luck with all your businesses, Goose Runners, Central Jersey Search and Rescue, Canine Rescue, okay? And we have ACT dog training. That was like a tongue twister. So thank you so much for being with us tonight, and good luck with everything you do, and thank you for everything you do.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much. KLVW, Christina Basile, Cruising with Christina, signing off.